Welcome to AstroEnergy with Astrologer Angel Shelley Overton. Hello and welcome back to the AstroEnergy Astrology Show for September 26th, 2017. I almost said 2016. My gosh, I swear, like, I can't even believe I'm writing 2016. Most of the time I just want to write 1990 something. Anyway, welcome. I'm an astrologer. My name is Shelley, astrologer in Orlando, Florida. And we are still recuperating from Hurricane Irma, and we are keeping an eye on Puerto Rico because, of course, Puerto Rico has gone through its own version of hell with Maria. And we still have giant mounds of trees lining the roads everywhere, you know, all the debris and branches and everything. But we are getting past some of it. I think people are finally all completely online with electricity. I have mine here. I'm still kind of digging out of the water situation and probably going to move because it's just never been really on, and it still isn't. So my dishwasher died too. So electronics, people, electronics, Mercury and Virgo. We've also got Venus and Mars in Virgo right now. So we've got a lot of Virgo energy. And, of course, Neptune is opposing Pisces. So there's kind of a fog going on. I've noticed recently I've had times when I'm trying to draw on the exact words, and I'm in this fog. It's like I can't quite get the exact phrase or word I'm looking for. So yeah, it's yesterday my daughter and I were out kind of running some errands, and I honestly could not even put a sentence together. I was transposing words in the sentence verbally in the conversation. It was just kind of wacky, actually. And so we've got this really strange energy with Venus and Mars coming up on conjunct opposite Neptune today. So how have you been? Have you been okay? I'm going to probably talk about today's topic first, and then we'll get into more of what's going on with the planets. But today's topic is how to cope. Sorry, I had a yawn come on. I apologize. I've been getting up pretty early lately. My daughter gets up about 10 minutes to 6. So I've been waking early, and of course I'm a night owl, so I stay up later than I should. But anyway, we've been having so much going on, and in the last few weeks, of course, we've had the solar eclipse, and then the hurricanes, and the giant earthquake in Mexico City, and then everything that's gone on with the Caribbean. It's just been a lot, and it isn't just what's going on in a large scale. It's also affecting us in our personal lives. And the way it's affecting us in our personal lives is there is a theme in our lives. So each one of you has an individual theme. And a lot of the time I've noticed talking to people, and what's been coming up is it is a major shift out of an old story or something that we put tremendous energy into that we just don't want to do anymore. And I have a friend whose daughter has been a ballerina and has been training, probably since she was 4 or 5 to be a ballerina. And her family has gone through tremendous sacrifice to do that for her. I mean, they've moved from the coast to a different location to be able to be closer to her ballet studio. When they lived on the coast, her mother drove 45 minutes each way, sometimes twice a day, to be able to raise her kids in their environment on the coast of Florida, and then also her daughter going to ballet studio here in Orlando. And the family has, I can't even tell you how much they've sacrificed, and it's a large family. They have 4 kids. And I am absolutely not judging her because I completely understand, but she's she's 18 now. She's going into her last year in ballet school here in Orlando, in a high school that ballet, and she has decided that it's not where she wants to be. She wants to finish school and go to college. So those kind of decisions are what we're seeing, like major life decisions where we've put out so much effort into something, and now we realize that we're tired of the struggle, or we're tired of the resistance, and we just don't want to do it anymore. We maybe suffered probably beyond what we could suffer trying to pursue something. And so it kind of has two different ways of being looked at. You have the idea you just can't do that story anymore, that it's just not where you're at mentally, emotionally, physically anymore. Or you've come to the conclusion that doing it the way you are isn't getting you what you want, and you're letting it go. So it can be just this, I don't even desire it anymore, or it can be, I'm letting it go because it's too much suffering. And so those ways of looking at the situation you have, the theme you have, are really prominent right now. And as an astrologer and a spiritual person, I definitely see that we are all collectively at that break point in our lives. And part of it is the late degree eclipse in Leo, but it's also there was a grand trine in fire as that happened, with Uranus at late degrees Aries and Jupiter now at 27 Libra, and then also square to Pluto as those energies were approaching, but also with Saturn in Sagittarius. So we have this tremendous energy that has really lives to the core. And I am also going through this. I am dedicated a good decade to freelancing and my astrology, and freelance graphic designer / designer, and splitting it with astrology. And while I am passionate about both, I'm not where I want to be with that. And so I'm kind of shaking up my life and shifting it up. And because the situation with my housing isn't where it should be, and I've struggled with that for different reasons for 2 years, it's just a major time for a change. And I'm even at a point where I'm considering a move to the West Coast. I just need a change, and my heart has always been with the West. So on the horizon potentially. So a major shift time. And so how do we go through these shifts? And it's just a tremendous time of ideological shift. So it's not just, it's really just everything. It's mental, emotional, and physical. It comes out in behaviors. It comes out in temper. It comes out with our relationships with other people. And it's something that, as an astrologer, you can look to astrology to understand it, and you can look to astrology for means of coping and looking to the future. And I personally, I guess mostly what I want to say is that what I find is, I think as Americans, or even a collective, it could be in other places too, we look at our problems as kind of a fait accompli, that they are only going to be what they are and they're not going to get any better. And absolutely, we are going through something and nothing stays the same forever. So I guess first off, in a larger, broader sense, I want to encourage you that times change, and just because things are happening, it is not like this is how it is always going to be. Even like, this is getting a little philosophical, but I really want to say this because it's definitely something that I think about a lot lately. And that is, we have this mindset that when things happen, when they go to hell, they're always going to be hell. When we're in them, it's like, oh my God, the world's ending because this is the end of a story and the end of what's going to happen. And so it's the end of times. Nothing's ever going to get better. It's so bad. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. Those things get worse because we are purging them out of our lives. And they're coming to the surface so that we can address them and move on with it. And the best, quickest way to get things better is to stop resisting it and start understanding it and learning about it and accepting that you have a reaction to it. And look at that dynamic as something to grow from and something to process, because it is a process, and go through it. And that way you can learn and you can allow it to be what it is and then release it. And I do say some of this because these are things that I'm going through and I need to hear. They are things that I've learned over my life in challenging my life. And of course, I've mentioned multiple times I'm Buddhist. So Buddhist philosophy definitely helps to understand that when things change, when we've actively wanted to change our lives, when we've realized, and Saturn in Sagittarius has us realizing what our true passion is and where we want to go with our lives, what we choose to accomplish, what we want out of our lives. Because I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm in middle age and beyond, and realizing that I don't want to do the learning thing and the mistake thing anymore. I'm ready to go to what I truly am here to accomplish. And so we have the inner voice that really helps guide us and tell us where we need to be. And when we ignore it is when we suffer. So your inner voice is helping you to realize that. So look at where you keep tamping down your inner voice because you don't want to upset the apple cart. You don't want to hear other people tell you no. And I can tell you in my life, I definitely have people who are fearful. And when things come up, they immediately go to, oh no, what are you going to do then? Worst case scenario, how's it going to turn out well? This is what could happen. Have you thought of that? And my answer is yes, of course I've thought of that. I've thought of things beyond that. I thought of the microcosm of what this could mean. And I've also thought that there are a lot of people that think negatively and look for the problems and always are alarmed at the potential. But the potential, I like to say when my son says, you know, what if I can't do it? Well, what if you can? What if it can work out? Why do we never go to that? We need to go to what if it can. And now is a prime time to make those steps. So what can astrology do? Astrology can help you understand the shifts and changes that are coming. It can help you understand your personal relationship to those shifts and changes. And it can help you look to the future of how it's going to shift you and change you for the better, and when it can potentially end, which most people want to know, when's it going to be over. So currently, I will get to it now. Currently, we have the moon at 17 Sagittarius, and we have Saturn at 22 Sagittarius. So we have the moon almost exactly conjunct Saturn. We had the eclipse triggering the Saturn and Uranus trine. And so now we've got the moon energy, which was part of the eclipse, right on top of the sun, catching up with the next of that trine, which is Saturn. So it's carried the light and information from that energy of the eclipse point through, let me just look here real quick. It went through Mars. I don't think Venus was in Virgo. I think Venus was in early Leo when the eclipse happened. So the moon did not touch Venus per se with any kind. It didn't cross over Venus, but it crossed over Mars. It crossed over Mercury. It crossed over the sun, and it's crossed over Jupiter. And now it's about to join up with Saturn. So the last body that it was transiting over a few days ago was Jupiter. Jupiter was part of the energy with a sextile. So it was a very positive, buoyant, I want to say ebullient, that's the word coming to my mind, energy. And it's expansive, and it's about relationships. It's also about transformation. Now, normally I go to Pluto for major life changes, but definitely Jupiter has power to transform, as does Pluto. Jupiter does it through higher understanding, through seeking out information, through education, and Pluto does it through bombs going off in your life and to those bombs in a very black and white way. And then we instantly want to make a major. I'm just going to give you a little story that it went off in my life. I got back from the hurricane and my landlords were out of town. They got back. My water was not working. I ended up mentioning it to them in a couple days in a row, and finally I was and tired of the whole thing, and I needed water because I was back without any, and it was coming in from the well, but it wasn't being filtered, and it wasn't capable of that. So I called about it, and I made it really clear, just that I cannot take a shower in this water. I need it to be clear. I ended up hearing from my landlord, who was annoyed that I'm assuming because it was all behind the scenes, and it was short with me and basically blamed me for the water situation. Trampoline had broken a pipe on the far side of the property when it blew into it during the hurricane, and so he threatened to charge me the bill to repair it. And then when I said, well, this water's been subpar for a couple of years, he told me that I could leave if I didn't like it. So that kind of energy, I mean, for me, of course, I have a Scorpio rising and Scorpio moon. And so my immediate reaction was, fine, I will leave. And I'm going to stand by that. I am going to leave because it's just not acceptable to be treated that way. But that kind of was a little bomb in my world, because up until then, there have been little difficulties in dealing with them, but not where it was uncomfortable for long periods. It was just like I knew what I could say and I knew what I couldn't. I just wouldn't say it. But it was kind of like my world got to that point where it was a break point, and it blew up. I mean, he hung up on me. I pointed out that the water was subpar, and so it was like a fight, but it was a bomb. Even if it wasn't like, he didn't yell at me, he was short with me, but it was this bomb going off in my world. And it was kind of that wake-up call I needed to not just accept subpar behavior from people. And I'm not going to just accept it anymore. And that's what Jupiter in Libra is saying, that it's not okay. Jupiter is very I don't want it to sound negative because it's actually positive, especially for Virgos and Libras and people who are Pisces, who continually put aside their own feelings for the good of the whole. But Jupiter is self-serving. It will act on behalf of its own interests. And in Libra, it's saying, I've given, and now I'm not going to give. I have to give to myself. And same when Jupiter went through Virgo. Saturn went through Virgo a few years ago and really kind of set off that awareness that things have to change, and we can no longer just accept that we are treated poorly in whatever situation is in our life. So that kind of situation is the energy that's coming in. And so the moon hit Jupiter and really found that the relationships aren't feeding us the way they should. And then now Saturn comes up, or Sun comes, Moon comes up on Saturn, and it's bringing that message. It brings it from the eclipse. It brings it from, oh, okay, I just had a blackout on my computer. That was strange. It brings it from the eclipse, and it brings it from Jupiter, and then it brings it to Saturn. And what does Saturn do? Saturn says, oh, okay, so I see what you're trying to tell me, and now I have to come to the plate and own the situation, and I have to take action, because Saturn's in Sagittarius. It is an energy of action. It wants to take action beyond the move and on the go, and Moon is the emotion, bringing the depth of emotion, bringing the energy of the sun that really was infusing it from behind, really backed it with power and light and awareness. and brought it to Jupiter, which lit up and said, oh my gosh, I need action also, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Jupiter is a planet of action. Jupiter wants to get on the go and wants to go seek out the new information and be done and be moving. At the end degrees of Libra, it is wrapping up. And now Moon is taking that end degrees of Libra, Jupiter transformation, education, energy of ego and power from the Sun, and infusing it into Saturn and telling Saturn that there's emotion and there's ego and there's drive and self-awareness. And now we need to be responsible and own what all we have on our path and where we want to go. And that's what we're doing with this energy. So how do we cope? We cope by knowing that it is in divine order. It is in universal order, that we are meant to be here. Everything that's going on with the players kneeling to take a stand against what's going on in this country with race, it's divinely guided. This is an energy of Jupiter opposing Uranus. Uranus in Aries is masculine energy. It's old story, 27 degrees. It has the old male energy story that is shifting to new awareness. Uranus wants to bring us divine enlightenment and understanding. It's an educational energy as well, but it is more of a channeled understanding as opposed to a learned through a process kind of thing. It is channeled in enlightenment. And Jupiter is the spiritual awareness. So we have Jupiter opposite Uranus really bringing to us this strong power around transformation and movement. So if you are guided to move, if you are looking to have a new clear place to live that supports your life, this energy is going to push you towards it. Moon in Sagittarius will be there for the next day and a half, roughly, and then it will move into Capricorn. I will say look at what comes up, because it is another energy transforming. As Saturn gets closer and closer to Capricorn, you're going to feel it stronger and stronger that we are being guided to get rid of old systems, especially around education, around passions, around taking action, around physicality and nature, around, so the state parks are now coming under fire. That is, and national parks, that's part of this energy. And we're going to feel that shift, because that is a trigger point. We all know that trigger point from 2007, 2008. It is the trigger point that everything in finances and housing kind of went belly up. So we are feeling that desire to shift our real estate situation and move it, sell it, buy it, do something, go to a new place. It's really strong right now. So Saturn continues moving forward. Honestly, I have to see about the shift and change towards what's going on with Saturn here real quick. So Saturn went direct in August and goes into Capricorn on the 21st. I am absolutely solid with this. It says December 21st. I keep going back and forth with the 29th, but actually the 29th is 28, 29 is Pluto going direct, which we also get this week, because it is 3 days away on Thursday. Pluto will be moving forward. And so it has been going back towards the past, but now the shift has us moving towards the future. We need to see how structures are shifting, and that will actually be triggered by this moon going from Saturn to Pluto in the next couple days. So the moon takes the Jupiter eclipse energy to Saturn. It says, make a shift, own where you want to live, own the energy of your home, and especially with the moon, that is home, that is mother. And then it transforms that drive and the energy of forward movement into the material. So what's going to happen with that? It could be more earthquakes. It is power and energy and fire. So, of course, magma, it's probably volcanoes. I'm going to say probably even more, or of course, associated with volcanoes, it's going to be earthquakes. That energy is going to be setting up a strong trine with the Venus-Mars conjunction coming up. So, yeah, the moon going in, I want to say that travel is a consideration at this time, especially tomorrow and probably late tomorrow or tomorrow sometime. Just be cautious about air travel with that trine, or actually it's not even a trine yet. It's inconjunct, so 150 degrees apart from Venus in Virgo. So that, again, that's the Mercury energy, late degree Mercury, 23 Virgo. Always late degree Virgos can be accidents, especially with Mercury, which rules Virgo, and then in conjunct to the moon at late degrees Sagittarius. So you're going to see that energy kicking up in the next day. So just be careful with transportation. Virgo, because of the Mercury rulership, is short distance travel because of Mercury. Technically, Gemini rules it, but Virgo can also feel it. It can also mean blow-ups of ideology. So that means, you know, you have a difference in opinion on spirituality. And so the moon is going to really kick up some of that Mercury energy. And we've got then moving into Capricorn, so it's going to be more stoic, more pragmatic, and wanting things to be kind of very literal, actually. So moon in Capricorn, of course, so a couple days after that. So when Pluto goes direct, the moon will be right there. And I'm actually going to look that up because that's pretty interesting energy. Moon enters Capricorn Wednesday at 12:24 p.m. Eastern, 9:24 Pacific. And then moon conjuncts Pluto at 10:27 p.m. on Thursday. And that's 7 hours after Pluto goes direct. And between the two, the moon will trine Mars in Virgo. So it's a really powerful day for jobs, careers, which are jobs and work and health are Virgo. Pluto in Capricorn and moon in Capricorn. Capricorn energy is career and father. The trine means that there could be some kind of disagreement or upheaval, especially as Venus comes up on Mars in Virgo. We're going to feel that nitpicky, critical, analytical side, and also it's the pragmatic side, the not wanting to spend money. And then Moon comes up and triggers that brand newly directed Pluto, and it's going to be strong emotions around shifts and change around home and family. And that really pertains to me, doesn't it? But yeah, you're probably going to feel it as well. So look for this week to be mother-father issues, home, family, and career issues very strongly as we feel that coming in. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Mercury enters Libra on Friday. And we also have a Venus-Neptune opposition. So again, this is a really strong energy around idealized situations, kind of brain fog, but the combination is Neptune in Pisces wants to idealize things and just be chill and take it as it is and tune into spirit and faith. And Virgo wants to be very earthbound and pragmatic and practical. So the beauty of this energy is, though, that the moon moves into conjunction with Pluto, and then it's in sextile to Neptune. And sextile is a beautifully cooperative aspect that's 60 degrees apart. And so the moon sextiles Neptune and then joins up with Pluto. So what is your dream? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? So it's being triggered with Saturn in Sagittarius, the drive to do something about it, to make a structure happen. And then the major change that needs to happen cooperatively with getting a job and finding something that supports you in this. And then Neptune, making the dream happen and cooperating with the structure. The only thing is the opposition, but the opposition has tremendous power in and of itself as well. And it really clarifies, because Neptune's retrograde, clarifies analytically and intellectually where we need to be, how that energy has to start moving, and where our desires are. Venus joining with Mars. Venus is desire, Mars is action. So what is the job that you want? Because I've been toying with getting a job, and I have been putting out resumes, but I'm realizing that truly my desire is to work out of the home. That's what I love to do. I love to interact with people out of the home. I love to be on my computer. I love to have my home environment just so, and I just feel really nurtured and comforted there. So that's going to be really strong also coming up. Let's see what else here. I just want to wrap this up because it's kind of running into the bottom of the hour. Most of the other aspects that I'm looking at through next week, well, there's a Mars trine Pluto, again, because there's a Venus trine Pluto and a Mars trine Pluto. Mars is going to come up on Pluto in 3 degrees, and that happens on Sunday. Again, supporting shift and change in vibe around home, family, health, mother-father issues, and taking a new course of action. So it's going to be really strong. We've got a full moon next week in Aries. We'll talk about that next week. We'll probably touch on a little bit more of Pluto next week. And I'm going to take here, and then we're going to take calls. If you would like me to answer your question, you're not to press the 1 button, and then I will know you have a question for me. So we're going to take a real quick break here, and I'll be right back.
In these days of stress, running around, responsibilities, we all need a little place to go to make it all better. Is that place sports, football, or maybe you like to garden, paint, or just listen to music? Wherever your happy place is, you can find a shirt or mug to reflect that happy place. At myhappyplace.rocks, we have a variety of lifestyle products, including iPhone cases, pajamas, and pet items, all with beautiful, colorful designs, which help us go to our happy place. Stop by on the web for great gift ideas for others and yourself. myhappyplace.rocks. Lenny Pickett appears courtesy of Random Act Records. Check them out at randomactrecords.com.
Well, I didn't realize that one was such a... Sorry, we're back. My name is Shelley Overton, and you were listening to the Astro on Blog Talk Radio. I'm excited to be here with you today. It's been 2 weeks since I've been on the air, and it's kind of good to get back into the swing of things. And last week I just was going through a lot of with the hurricane and needed to take that time off. So I was still at my parents' house, I think, that week. I don't remember. Yeah, I think that was, I just got back. So anyway, thank you for being patient with that. And let me make sure that my sound is up. If I just wanted to tell you also, if you wanted to check out my artwork, you can go to shelleyoverton.com also, SHELLEY, and I have a lot of art on that site. But anyway, that's all. I just wanted to share that with you because it's a cool site. So, okay, let's take a caller. 734. Hi, 734. How are you?
Hey, Shelley. It's Lexi.
Hi, Lexi. How you doing? I'm good.
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah. Have you called before?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What area code?
A few months. 724.
Okay. 724 or 734? I don't know why.
Sorry.
I don't know why. Let me see if you're under. I have now. I seem to have 2 different files. Oh, there you are. You're on my AstroEnergy 2 folder. Okay, got it. So I've got you February 3rd, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
So I guess I'm not sure if I want to look into my career sector or if I want to do almost like a synastry chart between me and my potential business partner, because that's what I wanted to do last week. So
okay. Oh, you had called and you didn't get through?
Oh, I didn't. I was assuming you didn't have a show because I couldn't get through.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Thanks for reminding me. Duh. No, you're right. I had a repeat show on just so when people listen, I just don't want to leave them hanging without a show.
Right.
So I just put a repeat show on. Yeah, it was the eclipse. So sorry, I forgot. I'm a little scattered.
No,
Like I said, Neptune. Anyway, okay. So will you tell me what you want?
Let's just do the synastry chart because I know that my friend John might want to know about that.
Okay. So is it JOHN?
Yes.
Okay. And let me just real quick put in some information so I can find his chart again, or this chart. So hang on one second before you tell me anything. Synastry. There we go. Okay. What information do you have for him?
Okay. He was born April 5th, 1991.
Okay.
At 5:54 p.m.
Okay. Where was he born?
Southfield, Michigan.
Okay. And you said 5:54?
Yep, p.m.
p.m. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so let me just get your chart here real quick. And okay. So what would you like to know? Specifically career or?
Yeah, so we have been in and out of each other's lives in terms of art for like a decent while, and we are kind of wondering because we want to eventually get a studio together.
Nice.
And we've been trying to like make that happen the past few months here with like two other wonderful people, but we just want to like know about the business dynamic and like potential things with the studio, and if you see any studio things coming soon, I guess, because we're trying to get that off the ground.
Okay. Well, let's see. You say it's an art studio?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, definitely with his Venus in your partnership house, which, well, I should say commitment. I call it commitment.
Right.
So that's really good because it's more solid, and it's also joint finances. So his Venus is really going to be strong there, getting it all together with the finances. So that's really awesome. Yeah, and you both have Saturn and Aquarius. Yours isn't, or his, falls into your home and family. And his Mars is within 4 degrees of your midheaven, which is where your Moon-Mars conjunction is too. So are you going to do this out of the home? Is this what you're trying to do, is like maybe buy a place or get a place that you two can move into and have a studio together?
That's definitely a possibility. At this point,
I would encourage that.
Looking. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's really what your specific chart shows. Let me just swap real quick here and see what his is. Yeah, your ascendants are so close. No wonder you guys are always in and out of each other's lives, because you really do have, his ascendant is 14 degrees. Oh, wait a minute. 3 degrees Libra, and yours is 6. You almost have exactly the same ascendant. His Mars is at 1 degree Cancer. Yours is at 9. Your Moon is at 5 Cancer. So they're all clustered up there at the midheaven of career. And they're in Cancer. Cancer is a home and family. His Saturn falls in your house of home and family. And, of course, your Saturn is in your house of like art and creativity. So you've got this strong energy around the home energy and not only that, but like the planet Uranus for both of you, because I'm just going to assume that your ascendants are the same for the ease. I'm not going to go back and forth for 3 degrees because you basically have the same ascendant. So both of your Uranuses and your Neptunes are conjunct in Capricorn in the house of home and family. So Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, and that's where your Saturn, your Mercury, and your Sun are in your chart, in the house of creativity. So absolutely, there's a lot of strong energy going on with this connection. Let me do, it's actually a triple chart. I'm going to do a triple chart and put that in with what's going on in the sky right now. So let me see if I can get it right. Hang on a second. I've got to click the right cards to make sure the right people are in synastry, and I'm going to put you at the center. So actually, I'm going to put, it's kind of funny, I have to click them in a certain order to get it to come up that way, in the appropriate order. Okay. So we've got Jupiter at the end degrees of the house of identity, and you have Jupiter in Libra, and let's see, the Sun's in Libra and Jupiter's in Libra now, and you have Jupiter in Libra, and you both have the Libra ascendant. So there's a lot of cooperation going on, and there's some subliminal things about details going on with this whole event. It's really about this month. It's about the details. You want to get those details down with all that Virgo energy. And late degree Mercury in Virgo is wrapping up the contract and figuring out all the details of the contracts that you're going to do. And let me see what else you have. Yeah, major Pluto. Remember what I just said about the moon taking energy from Saturn to Pluto? That falls right on your natal Neptune Uranus, entrepreneurship and being individuals in your dream coming true in the home. And I'm telling you, the ideal situation with this is find a place where you can have a studio and live. That's really what your charts together are really strongly showing me. So yeah, and Neptune in Pisces, it's about expressing that dream in the workplace and its creativity. So that's really positive for what you want to do as well. Let me see if there's anything else that really strongly sticks out. I think pretty much that's really what's going on. I think October 11th, Jupiter goes into Scorpio, joint finances, and that's going to be really strong. And then what did I say? Let's see, Pluto moves direct. So I would wait till Pluto goes direct because that means you're moving forward to a new life change, and it's no longer going back to the old story. So if you can wait till even when Jupiter gets to Scorpio, power of Scorpio in your house of money, and that's joint finances, and Jupiter is fortune. So you really want to expand that. And because both your charts have that same lineup, you're both going to be really strong to the finances. And the lessons you will learn are how to make sure your own needs are met within the partnership. But because your charts are so similar with the different points of connection, you're going to do pretty well with that you'll probably be on board with similar ideas. It's really an awesome situation, and as an artist, I envy you because I would love to have a partner who wants to do what I do and really, connect that drive together and merge it and really support each other. It's really awesome. So congratulations. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so anyway, let me know how it goes, but I would focus on finding a place that you could live and work. It's a live-work space, and that would, I mean, even I don't know if you're romantic or anything or want to get together that way, but if you could find a place, if you're not romantic, where you could both have your own space, ideal. Right. And also, having Saturn at the end degrees Sagittarius is also fortunate for real estate, and then it goes into Capricorn, and it gets really real, so that structure is going to be created for you in the home life. And the energy with Pluto for both of you, Pluto is just really only 9 degrees into your house of home and family, and because it takes so long to move, it's going to be there through the end of next decade, and that's where your major shifts are going on and major drive. So that's where your passion can be, and I would say that's where you really need to make this entity is strongly situated, because Saturn will go into Capricorn, and you're going to spend 2.5 years with Saturn right there, helping you with that structure and really getting you real about it. So if you're not good with the home life, then it's gonna struggle. There will be a battle, but I really see that that's probably the answer where you're going anyway. So good luck. Okay, thank you so much. You're welcome. My pleasure. Okay, let's see what we have here. 818. Hi, 818. How are you?
Hi, Shelley. I'm very happy to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is this Diane?
It's Diane.
Diane, good.
And,
okay.
I love that you're back after a couple weeks of Little Water overload.
Right? I know. I was.
Right?
I was so I can't do that show tomorrow. On Monday, I was I just can't be there for everybody. I have to be there for me right now. So, yeah, but I appreciate it. Thank you for understanding.
And now you're back, and you love it, and it feels good. So it's where it's supposed to be. Yeah. I would love, you have my chart?
I do.
Do you also have this gentleman from July?
Let me look. I probably do.
27.
Sam?
Yes.
Okay, I've got Sam. Yeah. He's the only one I think I have for you. So, what would you like?
Do you see us getting tighter together or the opposite?
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you what you feel first. What do you feel the vibe is?
I seem like he genuinely loves me, but he doesn't want to commit more than what he does.
I can tell you next year is going to be a really strong year for shifts. He's got Chiron, which you know is the wounded healer, right on your, it's within 2 degrees of your sun. So in a way, you kind of remind him of where he falls short and how he beats himself up over something that happened in his past with regards to career. Okay? And I think there's some mom or female boss energy for him that you remind him of. Let me flip these charts real quick and see where it falls in his house. Oh gosh, where did I don't know why. I swear this Neptune is totally whacking me out. Okay, so the energy for him falls in his house of partnership, which is probably why he's hesitating, because your sun is how you present yourself as an ego individual. So in a human sense, you are triggering his wounding, okay? So sometimes it is uncomfortable for him, and I would say it's financial, or maybe it's a desire that he doesn't feel he can fulfill. And I would honestly say what's coming in is that how he sees himself with regards to work or career doesn't feel like it measures up to what you may want from him. Does that make any sense to you? Does that jibe? Did I lose you?
It does.
Okay. There you are.
I really understand it. I'm sorry. I was talking and it was. It does make sense, and I never understood it that way. So that's why. There's people are exactly the way they are, and you understand it through astrology. So it's true. It's absolutely true. I love that. So that's a good thing.
Well, I can tell you Uranus, the planet Uranus, of course, is at 27, or I don't know. I've just got the synastry up here. Hang on. Let me just find real quick where Saturn's at 22. So, or not Saturn, Uranus is at, what did I just say? Again, I'm flaky today, 27. So next May, Saturn goes into Taurus, and that means it will be going into your house of marriage and partnership. So first off, that usually triggers something. Second off, it's independence. It's entrepreneurial. It is about not being told what to do. And that's going to trigger that point where your sun and his Chiron meet. So there's going to be an issue of independence around that dynamic. And as it is, you say he's already kind of not committed or independent and pulled out. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get more pronounced when that Uranus goes into Taurus. And it's also going to be very pronounced for you as well. You're going to have a major shift, and it's going to get stronger as you get closer to May. I want to double check that May and not March. You know, they both start with MA, so of course I could have gotten my months mixed up. You know, the way my brain's working today. Okay, it's May 16th. So, you'll be feeling it
after my birthday.
At the end of April. Yeah, you'll feel it in April. And, definitely right around then. Yeah, and that's going to also, because your birthday is April 30th and it changes signs, that's going to be like your year. And I have to tell you, I was telling my daughter about my birthday. My birthday was September 10th. That's the day Irma hit.
Happy birthday.
So, thank you. So on September 10th, Hurricane Irma came, and that was my solar return. My solar return had a hurricane in it. So think about that. The energy is a photograph of that day, of that time, that solar return, and that's the roadmap for your next year. So for you, Uranus is getting close to your sun. It won't be exactly on it, but it's within 10 degrees of your sun. So it is going to be affecting you. And next year, it's going to be even closer to that. I mean, the year after, 2019. It'll be even closer the year after. And that's even more independence. But that being said, Uranus is a planet that it's very curious. And so what can happen, and this is what concerns me, because you have a 3 degrees Scorpio rising. I have a 0 degree Scorpio rising. So we have almost the same layout, okay?
Wow.
When Uranus goes into your house of marriage and partnership, it definitely can bring you what will seem like an amazing partner, right? Like, oh my God, this is it. And then it on the heels, it's very fickle. It's like, oh, he seems so great, but then he was here and gone. But what happens is you start to get more curious about marriage and what makes marriage tick and why is marriage a thing and do I really want marriage? And it's a long time. It's like it's like 8 to 10 years of really having the energy of independence in your house of partnership. So what you're looking for is somebody who stimulates you intellectually, somebody who keeps you interested and does and moves with your jigs and jags, you know? So if it does bring somebody into your life, you need to also have somebody who's got either the Taurus in the same area or somebody who has a strong Saturn, say, in Taurus, or something that's going to ground them a little bit to counterbalance that wildness. But it's not, when I look at charts, and I've known the whole time I've done astrology, Uranus or Neptune going through your 7th house is not a lasting energy for partners. And it drives me.
And that's what we have, right?
Yeah, that's what we have.
With this guy? Yeah.
I mean, it's what's coming. What I would say is it can bring someone into your life if you can get the Saturn in the right position somehow at the timing. It's going to be a time of learning and growth and really about being who you are and going with the fickle qualities of Uranus and also channeling. So it's bringing you a higher understanding of what marriage means and what partnership means. And it doesn't have to mean marriage. It can mean partnership. It can mean how do I interact with this person. But it is going to really make you a much more independent person over the next decade. And I would just know that, I don't know how I could be any more independent. I haven't dated for like 6 years. So I'm like, I'm good. But it's going to focus it on the partnership. So I do think that there will be a partner, but it's going to be unusual. And honestly, it might even be somebody younger because Uranus is a very quick-moving new. It brings in the new. Okay? So look forward to that.
Oh, my God, I love you.
You're so sweet.
You always uplift me beyond belief. And
you're a sweetheart.
When we have so much alike.
I know,
right? Incredible.
Whoa. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting, we're really honestly off to the races between Uranus going into Taurus, which is going to be an earth sign. And of course we have earth signs right now, but they won't be earth signs until next September. Or actually, of course, after it goes in May, the next sign will be Virgo. So it'll be this time next year we'll have all the Virgo trining up with Uranus. So it is about alternative health, alternative money. I'm telling you, we're going to probably be going into Bitcoin. I would not be surprised. I would say get Bitcoin now because Bitcoin's going to be a thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I just read about that so much. So I'm so on your page.
And it's also going to be alternative health. It'll be about like Whole Foods is going to take. I would buy Whole Foods. I would buy Bitcoin, and it's going to be those kind of alternative things like for health and for food and for money. Anything that's Taurus, which is the earth, growth, agriculture, it's going to be alternative. I hate to say it, but Uranus does also rule chemicals. And seeing what Uranus did in Aries, which brought out a lot of issues around male energy and the police, it's also going to do that for our food. So I think that we're going to see more over the next decade food with chemicals and altering food and how that's going to be coming up in our world much more clearly. Like, because Earth signs are pragmatic. They want tradition. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn are all about tradition. Uranus is about change and new and different, which is the antithesis of everything Earth signs stand for. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of shifts and changes and alternate thinking around agriculture and health. Go ahead. And food.
It's amazing how much information you can share, and
even more than
really make
much.
it clear. It's
you.
fabulous, Shelley. It's not, because you speak very, very basic, so it's very clear, and
lovely.
you have a lot to say, and I love learning from you. I do. It's amazing, right? You're great. So
what you hear, honestly, is I have Uranus, which is all that that channeling of information, in Virgo, which is, of course, ruled by Mercury. It's all very clear, crisp analysis, and it comes through, and Virgo is a teacher. So, that combination really makes it, I loved, and it rules astrology. So I definitely have always wanted to teach astrology in a way people can understand and integrate into their lives. So thank you. That's a very big compliment, because that's how I want to do it. So, yeah.
Perfect. You're still in your element.
Well,
Thank you, Doll. I'm good. I'm so happy. I mean, you answered everything. Other than, do you see possibly when someone new could be available? Not till next year, I think you mentioned.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're going to have
May 16th
you're going to have
when it's
you'll have opportunities. Definitely having Jupiter go into your first house in Scorpio. That's like your desire for commitment. You're going to be committing to yourself. Definitely a year from now, when Jupiter goes into Sagittarius, that's a really strong energy for a very fun, flirtatious, committed relationship. Well, committed. I want to say committed from the sense that it's the second house, which is about the physical tangibility of the relationship, but it's in in Sagittarius, which is very much about movement, keeping moving. And I think that both of us are we're going to end up with a partner who probably keeps us on our toes, and I would say youthful and active. So I hope that you like youthful and active, because that's the energy I would say is coming in.
That's what works. As long as it works,
exactly.
I'm all over it. I have so much energy, Shelley. I'm like you. I talk and I just boom, 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 and I get things done really fast.
That's awesome.
So it's
but I think you'll have someone
really
coming in, and it's up in your career house too. Uranus is going through your career house. It just went on your Venus, and your Mercury, but Jupiter, Mars, and Sun is where it's heading. So, yeah, you're going to really see a lot of shifts and changes around Taurus and love. It does rule up, but probably either from career, or I don't know if you're retired or thinking of retirement, but it could come, from that shift. Okay.
Thinking about it more.
Yeah.
So either way means a change. You're right.
Exactly.
Always change.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. It's good talking to you again.
Love talking to you. Bye, sweetie. Thanks again.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Take care. Okay, let's take another call. 817. Hi, 817. Is this Nancy?
Hey, how are you, Shelley? Yes.
I'm good. So I only have a couple minutes. So good. I'm glad.
No, I know.
What can I do for you?
I was just checking to see if anything career-wise showed up on there. What's going on? I've had a lot of other things going on. Mm-hmm.
No, you should be feeling it pretty strong now. Jupiter is 1 degree into your house of career. It's at your midheaven. Attention to career, wrapping up around education and partnering with other people, or giving in to other people in an educational growth or spiritual situation. And Jupiter on the 11th. Remember, that's 15 days away.
Wow.
Yeah, you're going to be feeling it more and more in the next 2 weeks. I've already felt it. I'm feeling it right now, and I always get it a little early. And so you'll be feeling it. It'll be really more about committing to your passion, and literally before the end of the year, I would say November, Jupiter is going to be on your Neptune in your career house, and it's going to be like, I have to make this happen. Jupiter doesn't mess around. It wants you to take action. And so Neptune is really chill, but it's very passionate, Scorpio, and it's very deep feeling. And Jupiter in Scorpio, what's going to happen? And Jupiter gets into Scorpio, and we're all going to have like Halloween, right in time for Halloween. It's going to be great.
Wow.
Because it'll be like one of the biggest Halloweens in a while, because Jupiter will expand the Scorpio energy, and everyone is going to be hot and heavy into that spooky vibe. And And metaphysical and mediumship and psychic and all that stuff, Jupiter's going to only expand it for you. That falls into career. Absolutely, there's going to be a commitment to your passion and your dream. And you should be feeling it already, but it's coming.
Well, yeah, I've been sensing something going on. I just didn't know if I'm in the corporate world and didn't know if that would be shifting. It sounds like Jupiter's there. It has to be positive.
Yes,
then.
It's going to change. Jupiter will be up in your career house definitely through the beginning of the new year, and then it will retrograde not long after the beginning of the year. Let me see here. At least it did last year, so now it retrogrades in March. Yeah, March. So you have a really good few months, and then it retrogrades at a late degree. It goes all the way to 23. It just gets into your house of money from career, and that's a joint. That'll be a joint, be a partner on the way, and then it retrogrades, but it will be around 13 degrees, or 10 degrees, excuse me, which is your Neptune at, hang on, let me double check. Oh, what the heck am I looking at here? 13. At the end of the year, it'll be in November. And yeah, you'll see it. Yeah, I'm just looking through. Okay, it'll be, late November. It hits 10. The last whole week of November will be right on your Neptune. So you're going to start feeling, you'll be feeling it in November. And you're already, so you're going to have Saturn in December goes into Capricorn into your first house right after that. So you're going to feel like a shift and change around who you are, and you cannot do this job for these people anymore the way you've been doing it. Right now you've got a really strong travel bug going on in your head. You're like, I have to grow and shift and change. So, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Big.
Well, who knows? Maybe the partnership will be with Mark because we're considering doing something together. So
that
would be.
Yeah, definitely commitment is coming in. You're changing out old connections to people, and you're going to be working on having those commitments. Jupiter, again, transforming. So by the time Jupiter hits the Scorpio, those relationships will be changing somehow too. So whatever you're feeling coming in intuitively is really solid. That's where you need to put your energy. But it is about commitment. It's about commitment and passion. Okay, and career.
Got to find the passion. Okay, good.
Yeah, self-worth. I'm going to leave you with self-worth. How other people view your value. That's the key for the next year and what you're learning. Okay.
Okay, awesome.
And
thanks, Shelley. Appreciate
monetarily valuing yourself. You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'm going to try and get one last quick question because I may be cut off. But 814. Hi. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, is this Shannon?
No, Tina.
I'm sorry, say it again. You broke up.
Tina.
Oh, Tina, hi. Have you called before?
No.
Okay, wonderful. Let me just get your chart real quick, and I have time for one quick question. And what's your birth? Give me your birth date, the place, and then the time.
3/30/1977.
Okay.
Place is Warsaw, New York.
Okay. And what time?
10:36 p.m.
Okay. So what can I do for you?
Okay, so I'm wondering about career stuff because my birthday, the day before my 40th birthday on March 29th, was a huge blow up where my hours were cut from 40 to 20, and I've been there. Of 3 staff, I'd been there for 6 years, and the new staff come in. They're like, well, she's an unknown, so, you and the other lady, she looks a little bit better on paper, her raw scores are better. And I'm like, what? What kind of nonsense
When
is
was
this?
this? What timeline was this?
March. So
March of this year. Okay.
Yeah, of this year. And actually, I'd gotten in a dispute with the other coworker who'd been there twice as long as me. For 10 years. So, I started a fight with her at the end of February because I was you talked about you sick of I'm not taking it anymore.
Yeah.
And I had one of those things. I was like, you're not going to say that because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
And I don't.
Well, there was a lot of Aries at the end of February. There was literally 3 planets in Aries. So you were kind of over it. And the beginning of March, Moon, Mercury, and Venus all went into Aries. So there you go.
So that sort of set the fire, and then it kind of unraveled there. Where then we had a new supervisor in March, and then so I decided through all this, I wrote out the summer. And then it was I was like, I can't do it. I just can't be here. Like, this
right.
is not good. I need to move. And then I did just accept a new job where I'll be paid more. I work in counseling and mental health, so I'll actually be paid like what I'm worth or closer to what I'm worth. And I haven't started yet, but I've signed the paperwork and I have like my details, but they've expanded all this stuff in the schools, so I don't really know exactly what it looks like yet. And I'm somebody with a disability, so I'm like, okay, is this really a good environment? Is this going to keep, being positive? Because I feel like, like they say, well, life starts at 40. And I'm like, yeah, you're kidding. Like, I'm really, like, moving in and, like, growing and kind of going for what I want.
Yeah. Well, Uranus moves into Taurus in your house of work next year. So as it does, it literally, like I said to the other caller, it's the, I think, 16th of May. It's right on your Chiron. So you really are at the end of a certain cycle around there's so much going on. I honestly don't even have time to tell you everything in your chart. I'm just going to say that Uranus is going to be bringing up issues around worth and money for you in the field you're in, but it's also going to be moving into your health house. And so, again, it's about alternative methods of healing. You've got Mars and Venus at your midheaven right now, and they're triggering also health issues. So, and I wanted to say the Vesta energy. Vesta is always the woman who seems to restrict you and hold you to task, and is in your environment, like kind of like an authoritarian, like the female. I just think of the woman, the female principal. I think it was, or maybe it was a mother. I don't know. In Pink Floyd's The Wall. I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
Yeah.
But just a very strict teacher-like person, just really, somebody who's trying to hold you to task. And I'm guessing that because now Vesta is in Libra, it's somebody who's saying, you're not a team player, you're not working with us. And
that's what we're saying. And I was like, that's not
what we're saying, yeah. Yeah, well, BS to them. So you're actually, okay, real quick, because I do have to get going. Sun is coming up on this point. So there are definite ego things coming up for you being triggered right now. Because Jupiter is at 27 Libra, again, it's wrapping up the old story. You're not going to be taking it anymore. Of course, you have all that Aries. And so it's, Uranus at 27 Aries. Literally today, Jupiter's at 27 and 2 minutes of Libra. Uranus is at 27 and 25 minutes of Aries. Are exactly opposite except for the minute. And so it's triggering the creative thing, the network, the friends. I think that maybe was this person a friend and now she's not a friend? Or there was some
coworker that I worked with. We were friendly, but she was very like authoritarian and wanted to be the boss, but she wasn't the boss.
Yeah. So you've got that energy going on, and definitely having some. Pluto going direct is going to make a shift with that. Pluto wants to get to the heart of it and wants to like bring out the scandal, basically, and it's in your house of money. So having that shift to direct means that you're no longer going back towards the old way again. You're working towards going forward towards the new way. And Capricorn is also the person who always wants to take role and organize and make sure all the ducks are in the row, and they like to point fingers. I'm not going to lie, because that's the nature of Capricorn is you're not doing this right. I'm here to teach you taskmaster, which is Saturn is the taskmaster and it rules Capricorn. So it wants to make everybody do what they think they should do. Having now it's moving into a negative aspect to Pluto. So you're going to probably have some of that, but Jupiter you're really, I think, going towards more freedom and following passions. Much more, man, you have Uranus and Scorpio. If I had to guess, you might see the dead. Have you ever had mediumistic experiences?
No, but I have a very strong intuition, so I just
God, yeah,
pop into my head and I just know things.
Well, I can tell you, Jupiter's only going to trigger more of it, and you basically channel information from the other side. You are a channeler. So when Jupiter goes in there, you're going to have very strong, and that's honestly, I will tell you this. People read Scorpio energy as threat. And so what happens is Jupiter goes into your 12th house, and now it's joining up with you're basically knowing everything that's going on without being told, and it scares them because this woman, she may be saying things behind your back or doing things to undermine you, and you'll know it. The information will come to you, and it comes to you kind of almost by osmosis.
Right, absolutely. And I know it, but I won't react in kind, though.
Right.
And
right.
But I've misunderstood a lot.
Yeah, because Uranus is in the 12th, it's hidden. It doesn't come out with everything. It's very secretive. So Jupiter will trigger certain things, and things may come out over the course of the year. But Jupiter on Uranus for you is going to, I would say your chart, you are drawn to being a spiritual leader type person or education. You're really strongly attracted to children, child energy. All your Aries, Taurus is in your house of children. And Moon, Saturn is in the higher education house, and Uranus is in the 12th, and very good about getting to the heart of things, but your Neptune is in Sagittarius in the 1st, and you are a teacher. You want to grow your spiritual and growth, and that's where you're going to be focusing, and I think eventually you're going to be out of there. So this year. Okay. Thank you for the call, and call me if you want a more in-depth reading. I see so much stuff, and I could give you even more, but I've got to go now, and I thank you for the call. Thanks for the patience. All right, take care. Bye. And that's the show for today. So please listen in next week, and we'll see you later. And I don't know, batten down the hatches, and definitely look to your meditative side to get through some of the coping. And I just don't feel like I even touched on as much as I could with coping, but maybe we'll keep talking about it in the next few weeks. Okay, take care. Bye.
Thanks for stopping by AstroEnergy this week. If you would like to get a hold of Shelley Overton, you can get her at astrologerangel.com, on Facebook at AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel. The music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com with additional music by Ironwood Rain. Check them out on the net at ironwoodrain.com.
To subscribe, please click the picture of Shelley on the right or the red button below.